Are you caring for your elderly parents? Welcome back to our Caring for Elderly Parents Checklist series. I'm Tamara Berman.
And I'm Ozzy Martinez with Century 21 New Heritage.
In our last video, we talked about helping your aging parents to compile a checklist or binder to include legal, financial, and insurance documents, as well as medical information and end-of-life wishes and directives. Today, we're talking with Chris Grunfeld from Liberty Mutual Insurance about the insurance portion of our checklist. Welcome, Chris.
Welcome, Chris.
Oh, thank you both for having me here. So the ones I typically recommend would be if they have an auto, they obviously have to carry auto insurance, and then home or renter's policies, and then there's a PLP or otherwise known as an umbrella, and then life insurance policy. So we'll start with the auto. So before I worked for an insurance company, I was never told about what insurance is or what it did. So I did not know the importance besides it was being something that was needed. So I had just what the state required, which is the 25-50 limits. Now, after knowing what it means and talking daily to so many different people, I recommend at least 100-300. But would like to see more people protect themselves with the $250,000 per person, $500,000 total limits. Along with the auto, there's also, you'll hear a lot of people say I have either full coverage or liability. Well, what's the difference between those two? We have two different things on the full coverage, which is comprehensive and collision. Comprehensive is anything outside of a collision, such as hail, fire, theft, or if you hit an animal. Collision is where you would collide into something or someone other than that animal. These deductibles that I go over can range anywhere from $0 to $2,500, and I typically recommend for a lower comp deductible and then a $500 to $1,000 collision deductible. Second piece going on that would be the home. So here at Liberty Mutual, we have Home Protectors Plus, which gives you full replacement cost on not only your dwelling, but also your personal property. This is important because if you want to buy, say, a $1,000 TV tomorrow, and let's say 2 years later a fire happens, if you don't have the replacement cost, you would have what's called actual cash value. So this depreciates your personal property. That $1,000 TV you just bought might only get $400 with the ACV, but with replacement cost, that TV will get you a brand new TV just like the one you just bought. The other second part of that would be the loss of use is another bonus I call for Home Protectors Plus. Liberty Mutual does not put a cap on how much they're going to pay out to have you and your family placed somewhere to stay. They'll pay for any additional food and traveling expenses as well if something were to happen to your home caused by a loss and prevented you to live there while the repairs are being made. The next part of it, the piece was the PLP, or otherwise known as an umbrella. Now this is a great policy to have to protect your assets. Earlier I said about the auto limits being, from the 100-300 to go into the 250-500. That would actually qualify you to get an umbrella with our company. I will tell you a quick story. So I did have a client who had a friend over and they were working on the ladder. The friend ended up falling off this ladder, spent some time in the hospital, and ended up suing my client. Thankfully, my client did have the umbrella policy to protect him from things like this. Another good example is if you have a pool or a hot tub, I definitely would recommend a umbrella policy to protect you with that liability. We were talking earlier before this interview, even with teenagers, that would be another great option to look into an umbrella at that time. Now, the fourth piece is the life insurance. This is one of the most important products that I have to offer. We have many different life options such as term, universal, and whole life. We also have return of premium options and a single pay whole life policy. The difference in these are term policies expire after so long, and the universal and whole life policies are permanent. The return of premium is our newest product to us, and I'm very excited about this fully medical underwritten policy that after 25 years, you would have the option to get every dollar you put into this policy back. The single pay whole life policy is our estate maximizer. It's also a great policy for those who can make a single payment. starting at $15,000 to this whole life policy. Everyone is different and based on their age, but this policy can be an option for someone over the age of 50. And the great thing is, for example, if you're a 56-year-old female and you put $50,000 into the estate maximizer, it ends up giving you a guaranteed face amount of $102,688 to give to your loved ones. Alright, so with everything going electronically nowadays, you can still request a paper copy of these policies. This would be for the binder of your auto and the declaration page of your home policy. On these documents would be the name of the company, the agent, phone number, and policy numbers. The life policies are going to have beneficiary information on them as well, already noted, but there's also the policy number and important phone numbers on the document itself. It would also make the process easier in my experience to have the parents give permission to either the power of attorney or their kids to change anything on these policies as well. This would allow them to make any changes and cancel the policy if need be.
Thank you, Chris, for that valuable information.
If you are working to put important information together for yourself or your parents and need a guide or have any questions, reach out to us. We'd be happy to connect with you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future videos.